They even came to say thank you. Got Jack from Dr. Pepper back there, appreciating it. See, we're stepping up next level this year.
Is today a rough day for the offense?
No, I don't think so. We were a lot of good situations, a lot of low red zone stuff. Big day yesterday, tons of reps, so slow start for sure. Guys were a little bit slow to get going. That was definitely evident. We tried to do a little bit more like on the ball stuff too. Instead of huddling, we were on the ball a lot more today. So that part of it was a little bit more challenging for them as far as like assignment wise, because the guys have been doing a really good job over the last week or so. I know we talked about that last time here, but the improvement from that has been awesome. You got the young guys, the false starts first day yesterday, first time doing silent cadence issues, and then today the first time doing really on the ball stuff. So it seems like we're gonna have to just always have that little learning curve for some of those young guys.
I was going to ask you about that with Darnell. What is your interpretation of those, and what's the point of emphasis as you get back together with him?
Yeah, he's done a great job of not making the same mistake twice. So, going through an experience, learning from it, and then improving on it. And he's done a really good job of doing that. So we got to make sure that we continue to believe in that and know that his head's in the right place and he's working his butt off. And he's been doing a great job for how much we're throwing at him. We're kind of not holding back at all.
Cole and Tunyon have both talked about the importance of adding a veteran, like how excited they are to kind of talk to Mercedes. How valuable is that, would you say, just in general for an offense to get a guy that's been in the NFL for so long?
Yeah, huge, right? I mean, the guy that has done it the right way for as long as he has, his play style, his mentality, right? I got to see firsthand the leadership that he brings to a locker room, and no one will ever turn that away. So that's a huge get that we were able to get that done.
Luke, I don't know how much stock you put in first preseason games, but is it fair to expect some kind of visible progress in a short stint? I mean, I guess in other words, in year two, is it fair to raise the bar? Have you raised the bar at this point from what you expect, or is it just this is one step, so incremental still?
Yeah, I think so incremental is the way that I just believe in, just getting better. I do believe in that. I think a preseason game is hard to get too excited about or too frustrated about as well. So preseason is a different style. We're trying to do as good of a job as we can evaluating the guys that we have on the roster. And so you're gonna do some different things. And so we want to make sure that we're able to do that. Now, it's still important that we follow our principles and you see that play style. That's what, we want to make sure that is evident on the tape. That better be evident on the tape, the way we're firing off the football, taking care of the football, and the way that we finish. We want to do that better than anybody in the world. So that better be what we see in first week.
Luke, back to Larry's question. Seeing Mercedes firsthand, what did you see leadership-wise from him? And he kind of indicated that you guys have been in contact. And what were some of those conversations like as you guys talked about that?
No, yeah, we've stayed in touch ever since I've left there. He's just a guy who I leaned on a lot, and hopefully he was able to lean on me a little as well. But the his ability to kind of slow the situation down whenever you're in, whether it's a rough practice, whether it was a rough game, like he's the guy who was kind of the stability, right? He just stands up and goes, guys, this is the National Football League. We can't do this, right? We got to stick together and all that good stuff. So he's just a solid rock. As much as he is a player, he is that as a person as well.
Was there any thought to maybe shuffling up the line a little bit more to get some more experience next to Darnell?
What do you mean by that?
Putting somebody, maybe flipping Tevin back over instead of having Jatire over there next to him, get some more experience.
No, we're hopeful to get Nate back soon once he gets through his stuff. So I think it's really important that we try to get guys where we believe they're going to play. So I think that was more important than taking that route that you're talking about.
Luke, as you're trying to accomplish what you want to accomplish on offense out there, is there anyone on defense that's kind of annoyed you with like getting in the way of like they keep blowing up plays or anything? Just somebody stood out to you?
Man, not anybody maybe in particular. I think there's been different days where guys have had instances like, right, Noah has had a couple of days where he showed up, he stood out. The young DBs have all kind of showed up. They've all done a really nice job. The guys up front, Justin and the big dog Billings, right? All those guys, they've done a really nice job of challenging us up front, changing the line of scrimmage. And then the way that they're having so much movement up front this camp as compared to last camp has been really good for us too.
How would you describe the sort of the back and forth we've seen sometimes verbally even, but just the competitiveness between your wide receivers and those DBs.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think it's the competitors that they are and the pride to want to go win, right? And it doesn't matter in that moment; it's against your own teammate, but in the moment, they're your competitor, and so I love it. I think as long as we don't ever cross a line, maybe we've crossed the line once, but like I think we were able to get back from that and then continue it because I think all that's important if you want to play a certain way that we want to play the game. So you got to have that edge to you for sure.
Manny Rufus said yesterday that he was taking input specifically from you and Andrew Janoko on Justin Fields to decide to play him in this game. What went into that in terms of wanting to have Justin Fields out there?
Yeah, I think it just kind of falls back into the chemistry thing, right? Getting that group kind of for the first time and having that experience for the first time. I mean, we just talked about Darnell, just to put him in a uniform, get up, hear the cadence, hear the huddle call, hear cadence. All that stuff is invaluable. So let's go get a crack at it. It'll be good to just kind of get things started off the right way.
Going back to Darnell, since the pads have come on, what's the biggest area that you've seen a learning curve in that he needs to address before the season starts?
I mean, for a young player, there's a lot. So I think just the best thing about Darnell is that like when he makes these mistakes the first time, or maybe he's bright-eyed and doesn't know, like he is all in and taking in the coaching and then applying it right away. And he plays so fast, and so we don't want to take that away. We don't want to be a thinker. The guy plays fast and physical, and so it's all a learning curve for him, though, right? I mean, it's just he's coming from the college game, particularly like kind of the style that they play too. But the most important thing is that his mindset and play style fit who we are. He's been a great teammate as well. So I think we're off to a great start with him. He's gonna have a lot to learn still as we go through it. There's not one area. But and the way he's trending, it's going to continue to get better.
Did you guys have live tackling at points when you were doing that low red zone work? Did you go live for a little bit?
No, we didn't. But it looked like it though, didn't it?
It did.
When you were at your previous place, obviously the quarterback there didn't play in the preseason. I think it's 18, something like that. What is the benefit of seeing your starting quarterback on the field in a preseason game? Is there one? And
yeah, just the biggest difference, right? Is you're talking about a guy that was in year 17 or whatever heck it was by then, right? So I think this is just a much different situation. When you get to that point, I think it is more like, okay, as long as we feel good about what's happening on a weekly basis, and then like we get the opportunity in Indy too. So like other teams have been doing that a lot more. That's where you want to kind of get the most of your work in, anyways.
I think the 49ers had said, in fact, that they weren't going to play their guy in the game because they wanted to play him in the joint practices
sure.
instead. Are those more valuable than the games?
Well, you're in a controlled environment, right? So your quarterback's still wearing a different color jersey, so all that stuff, right? But everything's happening faster and it's a different opponent, so you get to play the game speed, and so that's kind of the mindset and thought process with that.
Roshan Johnson was talking a while ago about he was really excited to be in padded practices. Then he was out for a little bit. How would you assess like his progress, and what do you want to see from him on Saturday?
Yeah, no, I thought when he came back, he did a really nice job of kind of leaving that little slip of an injury behind and just playing fast, and so he really caught our eye a few times since he's been back. And he's a smart kid, he's a tough kid. I mean, you guys have seen him play with good pad level, knee drive, and all that good stuff. So we just got to continue to get him to feel comfortable with everything that we're doing, and if we can do that, I think he's someone that can help us.
Luke, we've seen DJ making a lot of plays. Looks plenty comfortable from our view. Where is he in terms of your expectations? Where you thought he would be right now, and what stood out about it so far?
Yeah, I think the probably the biggest thing is, right, you love to see the trust between the quarterback and the receiver, and they've done a really nice job developing that pretty quickly. I think that's not an easy thing to do, and the system part of it, he's got a ways to go still in understanding all that parts and the nuances. And we talked about it here. What's cool about year 2 compared to year 1? What's year 1 for him? And so it's been cool to see him kind of pick up his pace and be able to pick up on the things we're talking about with the other guys and start to apply them. And so, hopefully as the season goes along, you'll find that nice groove, and we'll even see a better version than what we see already.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.